St. Gianna Oratory presents Daily Thought of St. Francis de Sales for April 21st. True humility does not make a show of itself and hardly ever speaks in a humble way, not only because it wants to hide the other virtues, but most of all because it wants to conceal itself. Therefore, if it were lawful to lie, dissemble, or scandalize one's neighbor, humility would perform acts of arrogance and pride so that it might conceal itself beneath them and live completely hidden and unknown. Here then is my advice. Do not utter words expressing humility unless you can say them from the bottom of your heart. Let us not lower our eyes without humbling ourselves in our hearts. Let us not make a show of wanting to be the last if we do not want to be that in reality. From the life of St. Francis de Sales. On April 21st, 1615, Father de la Riviere, provincial of the Minims, preached the Lenten sermons at Annecy very devoutly and learnedly. He said that he could leave them no spiritual bouquet more useful than their most worthy bishop, whose virtues they should study intently and take as a model of edifying perfection. The prelate's presence prevented him from developing this theme any further. The saint, blushing with confusion, remained in modest silence, but when he was at table with the preacher said, with tears in his eyes, "My dear Father, I am mortified, because having preached the Lenten sermon so well, you have now lost everything by praising me in such an exaggerated way." During the meal, he discussed the vain praise that the worldly people exchange. He said, "Ah, what beautiful lessons the Holy Spirit gives us when he says, 'Praise a man after his death.' Wait until I am dead, then do me praise." The good Father obeyed this injunction very well, because after Francis's death, he was his first and finest biographer.